I got a rush of energy. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the New York Football Giants are 4-1. They're 4-1. That's the best start in like 15 years? More than that. Like, it's got to be like since like 2007, 2016. We were 3-2 in 2016. No, we were 4-2. It's the best start in a long time. I don't know when, but when this is like a long time coming because we had to go through the days of being fooled that Ben McAdoo was, the future. And I come from the area. I'm not Giants first. I'm 49ers first, but I'm Giants second because I'm from the area. I'm 20 minutes away from MetLife Stadium. I can see it in my peripherals when I go outside. I can just kind of see it a little bit. We're in all of a sudden the NFC East decided to be the best division in football. I don't know where that came from, but this is the best start since Brandon Jacobs was the running back, running people over, since Corey Webster was picking off Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game. This is the best start since Jason Pierre-Paul and Justin Tuck. This is the best. We were Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's dads for years in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and that just seemed to disappear within a blink of an eye. But now we're back. Now we're back to being Aaron Rodgers' daddy and screwing him over. We did it in America and we did it in London. So we did it in two different countries. There's no better gift than that. That just pretty much makes us elite at this point. We had to go through a teary-eyed Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin saying it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like he was fucking Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Eli. It wasn't Eli's fault that Tom Coughlin got fired, but it happened. We overcame it now. We overcame it. We had the rise and fall of Victor Cruz, the rise and fall of that star from LSU that's no longer here. That may be coming back though. Maybe coming back. OBJ to the Giants, man. That would be huge. Landon Collins is back. Kind of a little bit of a nostalgic feeling. Yeah, Prime cut short and Victor Cruz too. Brought back the salsa to being cool, only for it to be forgotten years later. We did it for the cold December Mondays. After a loss, you wake up being a Giants fan or a Jets fan even. How about the Jets, man? 3-2, above 500, both New York teams. This is like the days, where you wake up at 7 in the morning, you're going to work or school, and you're like, the Giants lost, and you're at Dunkin' Donuts, and the line is fucking so long, and you're sitting there like, man, why am I even up right now? Why did I even get up today? The Giants are 0-5, the Jets are 0-5, and they suck even worse than 0-5. The Giants are losing. They're so bad they're losing to the bye week. It's we did it for those years, man. For 2017, we did it for 2017. That year sucked. God, that year sucked. The Ben McAdoo was supposed to be the Lord and Savior he was supposed to be the New York Giants Lord and Savior, the guy who would bring us back from the fall of Coughlin, and he was gonna lift us up, and he lifted us up for like a good season. And then forgot what running the football was, and then we crashed again. And so many years of just having all that talent for pretty much like 2015 to 2018. The Giants were really talented, and they didn't do anything with it. 2018, we had Barkley, Odell, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and that defense was still really good. And we just couldn't do anything, man. Dave Gettleman. We did it for the Dave Gettleman days, man. We were always the almost team. The almost team. We were always that, but now we're not. We're actually good. We beat Aaron Rodgers in London. We're no longer that. We're the Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks hit you in the mouth Giants now. How we almost were enough. We almost did it. We almost were enough. The Giants were doubted. They were doubted against the Patriots not once but twice, but we overcame it. They're not the woulda, coulda, shoulda team. They're the we did it because we could team. And the world has awoken a sleeping giant in New York City, the tri-state area. Too, I'm in the heart of the tri-state area. And New Jersey, Northern Jersey, they're back from the dead, man. You better believe it. And on to that, we're talking week 5 as well. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah, how about the Giants? Oh my God. I wasn't able to make a vid Monday, but I'm back. and more roughing the passer. What is wrong with roughing the passer, man? I don't understand it. Like, I feel like, to me, when it happens against Jimmy, or happens against a team I'm rooting for, it's like, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Sometimes I'll even, hey, sometimes I'll actually say, that's a bad call and I don't like it. But usually if it goes my way, I'm just going to not think about it right after it happens. But when it happens against, our our defense, or it just happens against like Monday night, dude, Monday night, for that to happen, it was almost perfect the way it happened, because when you look at it, Chris Jones falling on Derek Carr and getting the ball before he hit the ground, and it's a fumble. The play is in his possession now, so it's really, you can't even call roughing the passer at that point. And then you get Grady Jarrett, who just basically hugs Tom Brady and pulls him to the ground. I mean, yeah. Oh, what is that called? What is that called again? Tackling? That's tackling. That's what the game is about. But they called the roughing the passer because Tom Brady paid the refs $25 before the, I probably paid him. You know what? He probably gave him Giselle's address. You know what? He's like, here, Jerome Boger? I was the referee. He's like, here, Jerome, you want some of that interracial action? I'll give you my wife's Addy. Drop the news. She just moved. Here, take it. You just got to give me a rough in the pat. You just got to give me a break at the end of the game. I don't care what it is. If it's a PI on the defense, I'm going to throw deep to Evans. Make sure you get a PI on Terrell. I don't care what you do. Get a rough in the. You know what? Make it a rough in the passer on Grady Jarrett, because he's probably going to get me, because the O-line sucks up the middle. Our O-line stinks. So I'm going to be honest. Grady Jarrett's probably going to get me up the middle. So here, take Giselle's address. I just want the W. That's what happens when you're a millionaire, a billionaire, and you're Tom freaking Patrick Edward Brady. I forgot how it goes. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. That's what I believe happened. I'm not I don't know. I'm just saying that's possible. Because they're not together anymore, and it's probably like, here, Jerome, take Giselle's. I don't care about her anymore. You could have her. Then Chris Jones. It's two different examples of a perfect reason why roughing the passer should be reviewable. Like a play that just is a tackle. It's nothing more than a tackle, and then a play that should have been deemed Kansas City ball in the middle of the play when Chris Jones got it. I don't know, man. It's weird. There's a lot of holes in it. It doesn't make sense. For that to happen back-to-back days, it's almost inevitable that something changes. Dude, I want to talk about this too. This is something else I want to talk about. Yo, did you guys see Kenny Pickett almost fight the Bills defensive lineman? Bro, my respect and love for Kenny Pickett, if it could have been more, it couldn't have been more, because you come in with two gloves. You're throwing with two gloves as a quarterback. You're like Teddy Bridgewater kind of, but he just does it with so much more swag, Kenny Pickett. And he has like the long sleeves, the long hair coming from Pitt, and he's playing as a Steeler now, and he's throwing with two gloves. People said his hands were too small, and he said, okay, I'll throw with a glove, and it works. Dude, if my love couldn't have been higher than the 49ers defensive ceiling, it's surpassed that by a mile. Seeing Kenny Pickett square the fuck up with a Bills defensive lineman. Do you know the balls that you have to square up with a lineman, and you're not another lineman? I mean, I'm not saying, Kenny would have been knocked out in one. He probably would have given him a few punches, but I mean, that lineman could just body slam him if he wanted to. Kenny's not that small of a guy, but it's a D lineman, man, and he was all game. That's what I like about him, though. Like, he's Pittsburgh. That's a Steeler. That's not a Patriot or a Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback who lies on the ground and complains about roughing the passer and getting hit in the head or pass interference or says the F word when he doesn't win a game, or doesn't shake someone's hand when he doesn't win a game. I wonder who that might be. That's not Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett squares up with a defensive lineman after he shoves him to the ground. He doesn't get up and cry to the referee. He'd be like, "Oh, where's the roughing call? Where's the roughing call? He just threw me to the ground." No, he gets up and he punches him in the mouth like a G. That's Kenny Pickett, dude. I love you, man. Honestly. Shout out Kenny Pickett for real. Maybe this will reach him one day. Dude, honestly, that was funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Like watching that, I was like, I've never seen a quarterback do that. Like I've never, ever like, I've seen like quarterbacks get up and like get mad, but like a rookie. I think it's because he was a rookie and like it's his first start. I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that from a rookie making his first start. That's funny, man. But it was well done by him. I mean, they were losing, but I mean, the guy pushed you he tackled your legs. It was a cheap shot. He gave him a cheap shot and he got up and defended himself. Good for him. So I wanted to talk about the Bills too. I think the Bills, what's underrated about them, yeah, they're so good, but like the rebuild that Sean McDermott brought, it's something that's not talked about enough. And it's the reason why the Bills are so good. Like 2017, McDermott gets hired. They make the playoffs. They're not really that good, but they win the turnover battle. Tyrod Taylor doesn't turn the ball over, and they can run the ball really well. And that's like the bare minimum you're expected to do as a team. If you do that and you do it really well, you're likely to be a pretty decent football team. And they were. And then 2018, they have to let go of Tyrod and they just have to rebuild after making the playoffs. It sounds weird, but they really weren't that good of a team. And they were in a division with Tom Brady. So they needed to get a quarterback, and they did. They got Josh Allen, and the rest was history. I mean, 2018, they weren't a great team. Allen wasn't, the best. He was turning the ball over a lot, but in just a matter of a year, they're back to being a playoff team again. 2019, they make the playoffs with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he doesn't have a top-tier target. He's got Cole Beasley and John Brown, and that's it. But they made the playoffs, playing good defense and playing just good enough at the quarterback position. And then the next year, 2020, he explodes and becomes one of the best quarterbacks in the league. A unanimous agreement that he's one of the best in the league. And that happened in 4 years. McDermott just gets a whole different team in a matter of 2-3 years. They went from being a playoff team with one team, rebuilding a whole different team, and it took them 2 years to become a whole new giant, to become a whole different monster. That's impressive, man. That's something that I just feel like McDermott's great, but the skill and like just the camaraderie that it takes to do that is unprecedented. It's amazing. And I really like McDermott. I've always liked Josh Allen. That's an example of what a perfect rebuild is. You get a coach like Daboll to command your offense, and Daboll does a great job from day one with Josh Allen, and rightfully so. He's the Giants head coach right now. And you see it again with Daniel Jones. He's literally taking a team that was down their top 3 receivers, top 2 corners, one of their top pass rushers, one of their top defensive linemen, if not their top defensive lineman, and he beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in London. Like, I know it's not the same Packers offense, but dude, like, Joe Judge, Pat Shurmur, Ben McAdoo, like, none of those guys, bro. None of those guys could have done that. Brian Daboll did it, and he was on the Bills, and he was the staff that McDermott put together over there. I mean, he's gonna be losing a lot of guys too, probably, because they're gonna be getting head coaching jobs. I mean, it's just a great example of guys like him, McVay, Shanahan, who are losing guys because their coaching staff is always so good. And I got to give credit where credit's due. I think the Bills are just they have one of the best fan bases, one of the best GM coach duos, one of the best quarterbacks. It's only a matter of time. You just know that they're going to win a championship. It's only a matter of time, It's like the Bucks. It's like kind of like the Bucks when you just knew that they were built for it. They had Giannis for years, Middleton, and just they were right there, but they just couldn't pass. They just couldn't pass the East, man. For some reason they couldn't get through the East. But then they got through it and they won a chip. And I think that's the same story with Buffalo. They're going to do it one day. I don't know when. May not be this year, but they're going to do it. I really like the Bills. I just wish they ran the ball, man. They just need to get a running back. And I think I think McDermott knows that. Josh Allen knows that. I mean, they need to get a running back because Josh Allen being your leading rusher, It's not going to last more than another 2 years, I'd say. So they need to get on that. I think, but they're going to figure it out. Dude, I wanted to share this about the Rams too. Dude, the Rams best point differential. I'm going to say this right now. Best point differential in the league after week 5. The Bills are at plus 91. Plus 91 point differential. The second best to that is San Fran and Philly, tied at 47. The worst point differential in the league, Pittsburgh at negative 51. I don't think that's ever happened in the Mike Tomlin era. I don't think the Steelers have been this bad ever to start off a season in the Mike Tomlin or even Bill Cowher era. I don't think it's ever happened. Negative 51 point differential for the Steelers. Second worst to that, the Commanders at negative 38. Third worst, the Rams at negative 36 point differential. That's wild. That is crazy. The Rams, face it, right now, the Rams are a bad football team. They are bad. Their losses have been bad losses. They haven't scored more than 10 points in all 3 of their losses. So when they lose ugly. And when they win, which has only been twice, it was against the Cards and against the Falcons. And the Falcons almost came back. They only won that game by 6 points. And they beat the Cardinals 20-9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Rams have a problem. They just put David Edwards on IR. That O-line is just god-awful. God-awful. It's in shambles. Stafford's on the ground every other play. They can't run the ball to save their life. Their defense has holes. You can run on them. Yeah, they got a big problem. It's crazy how the NFC West went from arguably the best division to probably one of the worst. I wouldn't say the worst, but like it's not as good as it was. But yeah, the NFC East is the best division in the NFC. That's crazy to even say that. Well, here we are, week 5, and the Rams suck. Well, it's just feels so good to be a 49er fan, I'll tell you that much. Feels amazing to be a 49er fan. God, that sounds great. Oh, and the Cardinals and the Seahawks and the Niners, man. How about them Niners? Niners win. Bing bong. Bing bong, Niners win, you heard? Yeah, but we probably have to face the Eagles in the playoffs. It's all good, though. It's all good. I want that matchup. Defensive battle. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. Like, the Rams are just not a good football team. Yeah. And one more thing before I wrap it up. Russell Wilson and... Oh, my God. I kind of feel bad for him a little bit because he's getting so much hate for being, the cornball that he is. But, obviously I'm glad he's out of our division. And I kind of love to see him play terribly. But apparently there's this shoulder injury that he's had that's more common in baseball players. And I can understand how that's maybe affecting his throwing. But it's soreness. It's not anything that's going to make him miss a game. And it just happened to come out of nowhere now. I don't know. I don't really care. Russell Wilson's still playing bad. The Broncos are just horrible on offense, bro. I don't even know how they're 2-3. I don't even know. Honestly, it's almost embarrassing that we lost to them. The fact that they're 2-3, it's crazy. I don't even know how that's possible. They're like, they turn the ball over. Russell Wilson's on the ground. They have no connection with their receivers. Their number one running back is hurt. If it wasn't for their defense, they'd be 0-5. They'd be 0-5, no question. And it's crazy. That game on Thursday night was so bad. I was watching it with my friend and his dad, and we're sitting there like, dude, this might actually be the worst game we've ever watched. And we didn't think until I went on Instagram and everybody was saying the same thing, and then I knew. Yeah, Matt Ryan looks like he aged 20 years due to stress from that offensive line of the Colts getting ran through like fucking Riley Reid every play. So, yeah, the Broncos got a problem. But we get to watch the Commanders and the Bears on Thursday night. Yeah, that's the life of an NFL fan. Thursday night games suck. So, that's the episode. Just wanted to go through a few things. Thanks for watching. We'll be back Let's say Wednesday. We'll be back Friday probably. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But thanks for watching. Go Giants and 49ers. Bang, bang, Niner gang.